See that? That's the sun. We don't get to see that too often in Western New York. Unfortunately, I think we've gone about 2 weeks without actually seeing the sun. I am so happy that it's finally decided to grace us with its presence. Finally. And it's actually above freezing too, actually, believe it or not. It's actually 38 degrees according to my little outdoor temperature reading on my car dashboard. But I don't know, I've been thinking about going back down to Sarasota, and then reality hit me. Basically, I realized that I'd be flying down Easter week actually. It is not financially prudent, especially after I realized I have to take a hit in paying for my one class, which I'm not happy about. I could sum up the last 4 years of my life have basically been a culmination of periodic $2,000 mistakes. It makes me sick because I probably would be about $6,000 richer right now, plus interest or any other investment gains, if I would have just made the correct decisions at the time, and I feel so bad about it. But yikes, I'm just gonna make the best of it though. I mean, I guess blame it on the economy, this and that. Oh, the economy's bad. I don't know. I mean, I actually did put in for extra hours at work this week. No word yet if I ever got approved or not, so I don't know. Probably should actually call my boss, like, get off my camera here actually, but I'm just waiting for spring, man. I don't know, it sits here. I just was driving around yesterday and everything was basically so blah, like snowy, damp, overcast, because I couldn't make up its mind if it was gonna snow, if it's gonna rain. I went down to Jamestown for a week actually, and it was kind of crappy, like, you know, early November or so. It's 2 to 4 inches of snow, and I saw people on the side of the road on Route 60 in the ditch, and I'm like, fuck, this isn't really good at all. So what I ended up doing was staying overnight at my cousin's house, and that worked out pretty well. I got up at 5:30 to go to my class on Saturday. Roads were salted, everything was clear and dry, smooth sailing, nobody was on the road. So basically it was just me driving up to Niagara Falls, and that was about it really. I just stopped at Starbucks and Mickey D's for a little bit. But that was a nice little tilt there, yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's really about it. Just like going, what the frick? It's, you know, March Madness is this week, actually starts tomorrow. And it's freaking like 4 inches of snow, like I mean, I was in a snow belt, so it was like, whatever, but I'm just happy that finally the tournament's here and it's actually decent weather for once. The sun's out, and also it's above freezing right now at 7 o'clock at night, with a bonus of daylight savings time, so you can't go wrong about that. Daylight savings time, above freezing, sunshine. We don't ask for much in Western New York, and finally we got the trifecta. So hopefully you filled your brackets and you make the most that you can out of them. I'm looking for a 13-14 matchup actually. I'm kind of listening to some guy on ESPN, but it's so true. Utah State's going to knock off their game. I think you're playing Old Dominion, I think. But I know for a fact, I would actually bet on it if I could. I will take Belmont over Wisconsin, man. I'm just sick of the Big Ten, man. I'm just sick of, like, Big Ten, like, ball possession. It's so a guy in tidy whities. It's unbelievable. Like, Big Ten basketball is so unsexy. It just makes me sick, you know. Ball control and time possession. I mean, Belmont, I saw in person a few years ago. I went down actually to the Verizon Center in DC when they were playing Duke in the first round. I was actually kind of so stoked because Vince Gill was actually courtside, and he was, you know, cheering for Belmont because they're from Nashville, so that's like his team. And I don't know, like, I'm not a country music fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I was actually like, wow, Vince Gill is actually like a really passionate booster of Belmont, it's kind of really cool he's actually into it. He was so into it that actually he knew the referee, some guy named Grecian, actually. And it was actually really ironic and funny because the guy really looked like he had a really bad hair clips for men, just for men's hair job. You know, the old school, if you were old enough to remember, you know, Grecian formula. But the guy looked like he was just dripping black dye out of his hair. Like, is he calling him Grecian because he's such a really bad just for men Grecian formula dye job? Or actually, the ref's name actually was Grecian, and he was just like on his ass, riding him like, you freaking dookie, this and that. You know how people are when Duke plays. You know, they always get the calls. I mean, we could talk about that forever on this vlog or any other sports vlog, but it was actually kind of cool that, like I said, he was there. He was actually boosting Belmont, but Belmont's a really good team, and they should have beat Duke that year. I don't know what the frick they were doing on the inbounds play. They had like the worst inbounds play ever, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing? You know, you can't pull that shit with Duke, you know, so I think finally the coach has some NCAA Tournament sea legs underneath him. It's not the same players, maybe like a freshman on that team is maybe on this team as a senior now, if that. But I think now those guys finally have it together. They're going to go out and win a tournament game. And Wisconsin is just freaking boring. And I don't know, they had like bad karma with the whole governor taking away collective bargaining. So I don't know, I think Belmont's going to knock him off. I'd take that over anything else for an upset in the first round. But anyways, I'm just going to enjoy the sunshine at 7:05 on Eastern Daylight Time here in the East Coast. And that's about it, really. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner, but hey, I just came from Wegmans, you know, so I have plenty of food. Catch you later.